Why don't you go ahead and meet me standing on your mat today? We're going to try to have a little bit more of an active class, a little bit more flowing. So to set that up, go ahead and come into mountain pose with your feet about hips width distance apart. Stand up nice and tall. And take a moment, I'm going to meet you there. Take a couple of rolls of the shoulders, a few times forward, and a few times back. And then go ahead and close down your eyes. Let your hands rest down by your hips. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Really use this time at the beginning of our practice to just connect to your breath. Try to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and out for 3, 2, 1. Just start to slow down the mind, let go of all of your worries from the day. You start to connect to your mat here, connect to your practice. We're breathing in for 1, 2, 3, and out for 3, 2, 1. So you can set an intention here at the beginning of your practice. That intention can be something as simple as maintaining this steady breath. Thinking about drawing that air in through your lungs, or in through the nostrils, filling up the lungs, down into the belly. Maybe you'd like to set an intention of just letting yourself be present in your practice today. Not letting yourself get distracted by whatever else might be going on in the room around you, whatever else might be going on in your everyday life. Just use this time to let go of any negativity you may feel in your mind, in your heart. Let go of that tension. Just let yourself be present here. Nice deep breaths in and gentle breaths out through the nostrils. Take another moment here to feel the weight of your feet connecting into the mat. Feel the lift in the spinal column. Release that air. And on the next breath in, open up the eyes. Begin to sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. Bring the biceps by the ears. And then we'll exhale, sweep the hands down at the base of the hips. Press the palms of the hands together. We'll inhale, sweep fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, fingertips down, pressing at the base of the hips. You can either keep the gaze forward, or if you'd like to add a little movement in through the neck, go ahead and move the head to the chin and chest with the movement of the fingers. So inhale to look up, exhale to look down towards the earth. Inhale, sweep those fingertips to the sky, bring the eyes up to the sky. Exhale, fingertips release, gaze down to the mat. 2 more deep breath cycles here. Connecting and matching that movement with your breath today. And then take one more inhale. Lift the fingertips back up to the sky for extended mountain. Draw the biceps by the ears, soften the shoulders gently down the length of the spine. We're going to start off by pressing the palms of the hands together, keeping fingertips overhead. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, gently fold over to the left side of the room. Press your hips over towards the right. Keep shoulders and hips square to the front. Think about lengthening across that right side of the body. Inhale to the center. Exhale over to the opposite side. We'll inhale to the center, exhale, hands down, heart centered. Beautiful job. Take a deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, we'll hinge through the hips, shift the weight back in towards the heels, into the hips, angle the upper body 45 degrees, finding our first chair. So with chair today, try to avoid overarching that low back. Instead, use your core strength. Draw those core muscles in towards the spinal column. Think about keeping shoulders down the length of the spine, away from the neck. Hands are pressing gently but firmly together. Keep your gaze either towards the front side of the room, or if you prefer, you can gently gaze down towards the mat. With every breath in, get a little bit more lift in the spinal column. As you exhale, you can sink the seat a little lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink the seat a little lower. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, release into your first forward fold. So Palms of the hands or fingertips coming down onto the mat in front of the toes. Bring a deep bend into the knees so that way your belly or chest can rest on the thighs. And instead of just letting the shoulders hang like this today, I want you to keep a little bit more engagement through the chest, through the shoulders by drawing shoulder blades gently together to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Let the crown of the head reach closer towards the earth. Maybe start to bring the chin a little closer in towards the knees if you'd like. Nice deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And let's get even deeper into this first forward fold to really open up through the hamstrings. I want you to bend the knees as much as you'd like to, just enough to bring the forearms around the backside of your calves. Let the fingertips rest on the backside of your heels. Begin to tuck the chin in towards the chest. And as you take that next breath in, I want you to slowly lift the hips up towards the sky, really hugging the forehead in towards the knees. Breathe in and breathe out. This is a deep stretch through the hamstrings. So remember to don't hold your breath. Breathe in and breathe out. One more deep inhale here. And as you exhale, bring all 10 fingertips back down onto the mat, front of the toes. Plant the palms of the hands, the fingertips in towards the mat. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, moving into our first high plank. So with this high plank, your shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Think about drawing the heels towards the back side of the room. And try not to let the hips sink down towards the mat like this. Think about creating a long line from the crown of the head all the way down that entire spinal column, through the tailbone, extending that energy even through the heels. Make sure the core is engaged. You're lifting that belly button up towards the sky. Take another breath in to lean that high plank forward. Exhale, bending through the elbows. 90 degrees, slowly lower all the way down onto the mat. Beautiful job. Keep the palms of the hands where they are. Plant the tops of the feet towards the mat. Take a moment. You can rotate the shoulders a few times down the length of the spine. And then keep the shoulder blades hugged together. Hug the elbows in along the sides of your ribs. Chin is resting at the center of your mat, and start to squeeze through the glutes. Engage through the quads to feel the kneecaps hover about ½ an inch off of the mat. With that next inhale, we're gonna lift just the head and heart off of the mat, moving into your first baby cobra. There is no weight in the palms of the hands. They can either stay resting gently on the mat, or if you prefer, you can hover them slightly off of the mat. Keep your gaze forward. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Another deep breath in and exhale. Release down to the mat. Keep the chin resting on the center. When you're ready, we're going to move into strong cobra. So again, keep the shoulders rolled down the length of the spine. Pop elbows in towards the rib cage. Squeeze through the glutes. Keep the tops of the feet firmly rooted here. Whenever you're ready, on that next breath in, you're going to gently lift the head, lift the heart, lift the chest off of the mat until the elbows are bent a little bit, about 90 degrees. Feel your heart open to the front side of the room. You can feel the triceps starting to light up, the biceps lighting up. And remember to use your core here, squeezing those core muscles in, so that way you're not dumping any weight into the low back. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale, gently release back down to the mat. Beautiful job. From here, let's go all the way into full cobra with the option to turn it into up dog. Keep shoulders drawn down the length of the spine. Hug the elbows in towards the rib cage. Keep the tops of the feet rooted. Chin at the center of your mat. Breathe in to lift the head and heart off, peeling the belly off of the mat until you're in full cobra, or you can turn this into up dog, hovering the thighs an inch off of the mat. From here, let's plant toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky, release the heels, cut out your leg in our first down dog. So down dog, you're gripping the mat with all 10 fingers, the hips are lifted to the sky. You're slowly curling up the legs, easing any tension you may find in the hamstrings. Think about keeping your neck in a neutral position. So instead of tucking your chin in towards the chest, you should feel the crown of the head making an angle down towards the mat. Imagine yourself creating an inverted V shape with the body here. Instead of punching the shoulders into the ears, really work today to soften the arms back into their sockets, strengthening through the upper back and shoulders instead. We're gonna do a little bit of core work here. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, slowly bend the knees to hover half an inch off of the mat, moving into your animal. Inhale, we'll lift the hips back to the sky, down dog. Exhale, bend through the knees, hover half an inch off of the mat for animal. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower the knees. Use your core, moving through this slowly with your breath. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Last exhale to lower. Hover the knees and in for half an inch off of the mat. We'll be here for 3 breath cycles. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. You got this. Nice steady breaths. And then as you finish that third exhale, release the knees all the way down towards the mat. Plant the tops of the feet for the earth, fingertips touch. Exhale. Press the hips back towards the heels. Child's pose. Let the forehead rest onto the mat. You can flip the palms of the hands up towards the sky. If the wrists are feeling a little fatigued, and make sure you're not extending the arms too far forward. I want you to feel the arms soften into the socket. Think about maintaining that broad chest even here, and slow the breath back down. If you find that it's a little difficult to let go today, letting the mind just simply relax, you can take this time, close down the eyes, and just maybe gently sway that forehead the left to the right, massaging that tension, kind of the center, that middle of your forehead. Use this time to really connect to your breath, connect to your mat, let go of everything else. And from here, let's inhale, lift the hips off of the heels, stack shoulders over the wrists, knees underneath the hips, tabletop position. You can either keep the tops of the feet planted in towards the mat, you can tuck the toes in towards the mat if you prefer. Whenever you're ready, let's move into some spinal balances. As you take that next breath in, pull the right arm in line with right ear. Do your best to keep that neck in a neutral position. Exhale, extend that back left leg to the back edge of your mat. Inhale, use that core strength to lift that left leg off. So instead of arching through that low back or opening this leg over towards the side of the room, keep that left thigh pointed down towards the mat. Lift through the core to maintain a neutral spinal column. You got this. 2 more breath cycles. When you're ready, exhale, gently release back down to the mat. Let's take that to the other side. Make sure the hips are neutral, shoulders are neutral over the wrists. Inhale, lift left arm in line with left ear. Exhale, extend that back right leg to the back edge of your mat. And then inhale, use that core strength, slowly lift right leg in line with right hip. Again, try not to open that right leg over towards the side of the room. Try not to overarch that low back. Use that core. You can tuck the pelvis slightly forward to help really engage those lower core muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. Don't hold your breath today. And from here, exhale, gently release back down onto the mat. Awesome job. From here, plant toes and towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips, release the heels, down dog. We're gonna move through some sun salutations today to really warm up through our body, really finding that movement at the beginning of our practice. Whenever you're ready from here, take a breath in to walk, step, or float the feet up to meet the hands, forward fold. As you take that next breath in, we'll move into a halfway lift. Palms of the hands are gonna rest on the shins. You're creating a nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Sweep the fingertips all the way up towards the sky for extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive, back down, forward fold. Plant all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. Walk or step the feet away. High plank. Another option you can take is drop the knees for modified plank. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Nice job. Cut off the legs, the hamstrings are tight. Or you can work on maintaining that steady center down dog today. On that next breath in, walk, step, or float the feet up to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Plant all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. Walk, step, or float the feet away. High plank, or again, modified plank. Inhale, lean it forward. Exhale, do your best to work into that low plank today. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Nice job. 2 more sun salutations. Breathe in through the nose to walk, step, or float the feet up to meet the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, our strong flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, reverse swan dive, extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive down. Plant all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. Walk, step, or float the feet away. High plank. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Last cycle here. You got this. Take a moment and reconnect with the breath. And then on that next breath in, walk, step, or flip the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release into the mat. Inhale, reverse swan dive, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, swan dive back down, forward fold. Plant all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. Walk, step, or float the feet away. Last high plank here in our sun salutation series. Inhale, lean it forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Nice work. Pedal out those legs. And let's all meet in down dog just for 1 breath cycle all together. As you breathe out, release the knees down to the mat. Big toes to touch. Hips press back towards the heels. Child's pose. If you prefer, or if you would like easier access here, you can keep the knees forward, keep the forehead lifted off the mat. It'll make it a little bit easier to catch your breath. You can also flip the back sides of the hands onto the mat to stretch out the wrists, or you can always take embryo and give the shoulders a little bit of a break. We're just taking 3 breath cycles here. We're going to keep flowing. Whenever you're ready, let's inhale. Bring the fingertips back to the front edge of the mat, child's pose. Inhale, lift the hips out with the heels, stack shoulders over the wrists, knees underneath the hips. Tabletop position. Breathe in. Let's lift through the head and heart so you keep belly finding cow. Exhale, round out through the spine. Tuck the chin in towards the chest, press up the shoulders for cow. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. 1 more inhale for cow. 1 more exhale for cat. You're going to stay up through that spinal column. Come back into your neutral tabletop position. Toes pointing towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips. Release the heels. When you're ready, inhale, walk, step, or flip the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold. Take a moment here. Again, bend the hands as much as you'd like to. Try not to let the shoulders just droop forward. Keep the shoulders engaged today. Even here, you can still work to maintain that core strength. Instead of just letting the belly go soft, I want you to think about drawing that core or those core muscles, all of your abdominal muscles, a little closer in towards that spinal column. Let's add a little shoulder bind to start to open up through the upper body, open up through the chest, and upper back. When you're ready from here, in the crown of the head, reaching down towards the mat, gaze towards the back side of the room. Inhale, lift just the fingertips up towards the sky. Make a fist with the palms of the hands, press firmly together on the small of your back. As you take the next breath in, we'll extend that fist up towards the sky, squeeze shoulder blades together for a little shoulder bind. You can release the crown of the head even closer to the earth. Can you gently lengthen through the legs a little more? Feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Breathe in, and when you're ready, exhale gently. Release that bind. Release the fingertips down in front of the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. So we're putting that strong flat back. Use your core strength here to maintain balance. We never want to lock out through the legs though. Have a slight bend in the knees. Press the hips all the way to the back side of the room. The shoulders are away from the ears. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, you can bring the palms of the hands onto the quads, or for even more challenge, you can bring fingertips in line with the ears, reach your fingertips towards the front side of the room. Whenever you're ready from here, let's exhale. Come back down into that forward fold. Keep your right foot rooted where it's at. Press the fingertips towards the mat, bend through your right knee. Step your left foot to the back edge of the mat, adjusting your stance as necessary. Moving into our first runner's lunge. So all 10 toes are pointed to the front side of the room. Your back left heel is lifted. Try not to let this hip press too far up towards the sky. Keep the hips low today if you can. Keep the right knee over right ankle. Take a deep breath in. And when you're ready, exhale, release the left knee down towards the mat. Plant the top of the left foot in towards the mat. And we're going to stretch out through this quad. Inhale, I want you to shift the weight of the hips forward. You're going to feel this back left quad stretch out. And then exhale, walk the hands towards the back side of the mat. Lift that right palm of the foot off the mat. A little hamstring stretch on this right leg. Keep those right toes flat. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Feel that stretch through that left quad. Exhale, walk the hands back. Roll the right palm of the foot off the mat. Right hamstring stretch. Inhale, forward. Left quad stretch. Exhale, back. Right hamstring stretch. And then when you're ready, come back into that initial start position. Right palm of the foot down onto the mat. Right or left knee down onto the mat. Move your left hand to the inner edge of that right foot. Inhale, lift just the right hand up towards the sky. Your supported low lunge. Awesome job. Breathe in. Do your best to keep those front fingertips spread out nice and wide. Right arm in line with right shoulder. Not letting that arm fall to the back side of the room. It's not dripping forward. It's directly overhead up towards the sky. As you exhale, release that right hand to the inside of the right foot where the left hand is. Scoop the left hand out to come underneath the left shoulder. From here, I want you to plant left toes in front of the mat. Inhale, lift that left knee off. Nice job. A little stretch to the hips here. When you're ready, we're going to move this right hand back to the outer edge of that right foot. Keep your left heel lifted. Use your core strength. Slowly inhale, rise up into crescent lunge. You can either keep fingertips lifted up overhead. You can release hands, heart center, or you can even let hands come to rest on the hips. Whatever feels good for you in your practice today. Just try to keep that right knee bent 90 degrees. You're going to feel this right knee kind of want to fall in towards the midline of the body. Do your best to keep that right knee tracking over that left toe. Your eyes, or the left second toe. Your eyes to the front side of the room. And breathe. Working on building some strength today. From here, let's inhale, lift the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, release the palms of the hands back down to frame that front right foot. Runner's lunge. When you're ready, plant the palms of the hands in towards the mat. Inhale, we're going to bring right knee to hover by right elbow. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in. And then exhale, step that right foot back for a high plank. Inhale, lean that plank forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Nice job. Kind of up through the legs. We'll take that to the other side next. So from here, inhale, walk, step forward, float the feet up, take hands, forward, fold. Give yourself a chance to just breathe and relax here. We'll be here for 3 breath cycles, so you can take 5, you can just wrap opposite hand to opposite elbow, or you can just stay resting in that traditional forward fold. Whenever you're ready, keep your left foot rooted this time. Fingertips press into the mat in front of the toes. Gently bend through the knees. Deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot all the way to the back edge of the mat. So the toes are in line, or the feet are in line with the hips. Keep that right heel lifted, left knee bent directly over left ankle. Nice job. Let yourself breathe here. Whenever you're ready, take another deep breath in. Exhale. Release that right knee down towards the mat. Plant the top of the right foot in towards the mat. And again, gently shift that weight slightly forward to get a quad stretch in on this right leg. Breathe in. Exhale. Walk the palms of the hands towards the hips. Lift that left palm of the foot off the mat. Hamstring stretch on this left leg. Inhale. Walking forward. Quad stretch on the right. Exhale. Hamstring stretch on the left. Breathe in, quad stretch. Breathe out, hamstring stretch. Last one here. Inhale. One more quad stretch. Exhale. One more hamstring stretch. And then let's inhale. Come back into that starting low lunge position. So you can adjust the knees if you'd like to. This is a little bit more comfortable. Just make sure, again, left knee over left ankle. When you're ready, move that right hand to the inner edge of that left foot. Inhale, lift left hand up towards the sky. Again, doing your best to keep those left fingertips spread out nice and wide. Try not to let that left arm fall to the back side of the room. Don't let it fall forward, directly overhead. Arm in line with the shoulder. These are great stretches to take to open up through the heart a little bit more. Stretch across the chest. And really do your best to keep that left knee over left ankle. Whenever you're ready from here, let's exhale. Bring that left hand down right where your right palm of the hand is. Move that right hand underneath right shoulder. So you're going to feel yourself to the inside of the left palm of the foot, keeping left knee where it's at. Plant right toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift right knee off the mat for a little lizard lunge. A little stretch to the hip flexors, a little strengthening to the hip flexors. With that next breath in, slowly move left hand to frame the outer edge of that left foot for a more traditional runner's lunge. Keeping the right heel lifted. Use your core strength. Inhale, slowly rise up, crescent lunge. So with crescent lunge, your hips are pointed to the front side of the room. Try not to open the hips over towards one side or the other. Shoulders are square to the front. Chest is open, heart is open. Hands can be at heart center, or you can lift fingertips out towards the sky. Again, check in with that left knee. You may find it wanting to tilt over towards one side of the room or the other. Try to keep it directly over that left ankle. Left knee over the left toe. Breathe in and breathe out. In and lower the hips as you breathe out. On that next inhale, lift the fingertips back up overhead. Exhale, gently release palms of the hands down towards the mat. Runner's lunge. Make sure palms of the hands are resting into the mat. You can adjust the stance if you'd like to. Whenever you're ready, deep breath in, bring left knee to hover by left elbow. Really use your core strength to maintain your balance here. Another breath cycle. And then exhale, step left foot back, high plank. Inhale, lean that plank forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale for up dog. And exhale for down dog. Paddle out the legs. You have a little break coming up. When you're ready, meet me back in center down dog. Check in with your form here. Do you feel the shoulders hunching down towards the ears? Or are they lifted and light? Do you feel the hips up towards the sky? Can you release the hamstrings a little closer to the mat? And again, try to avoid locking out through the knees. Breathe in and breathe out. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, release the knees down to the mat, around towards the edges of your mat, big toes touch. Let the belly fall in between the thighs as you press the hips back towards the heels. Wide stance, child's pose. So again, let that tension melt out of the shoulders. Let yourself melt into the mat. You can gently sway the forehead from side to side. You can close some eyes, whatever helps you to regather your focus, reconnect with your breath here. You guys have done a phenomenal job today. Really use this chance to connect to the mental side of your practice. Check back in with your intention. And then from here, let's inhale. Slowly lift the hips off of the heels. Adjust the knees to come underneath the hips. Shoulders stack over the wrists, tabletop position. From here, go ahead and take a few rounds of cow and cat at your own pace. Last breath cycle here. And meet me in that tabletop position. Nice job. Whenever you're ready, plant toes into the mat. Inhale, lift the hips, release the heels. Down dog. Inhale, slowly walk, step, or flip the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Shift the fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Extended mountain. Release the shoulders down the length of the spine. Press palms of the hands together. Breathe in to lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart center. Make sure the feet are about hips width distance apart. Breathe in through the nose. As you exhale, hinge through the hips. Press the hips towards the back side of the room. Bend through the knees. Chair. Make sure you're using that core strength here. You're not just dumping the weight into the low back. You do to lift all 10 toes. It's a nice little balance check before setting them back down onto the mat. On that next inhale, let's rise back up to stand into Tadasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice work. Whenever you're ready from here, let's go ahead and take a couple steps to the back edge of the mat. We're going to work on a warrior three balancing pose. Okay. So give yourself enough room here. Hands are going to be heart center. Feet are hips width apart. Whenever you're ready, keeping hands at heart center, take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, step that right foot 2 to 3 feet away from that left foot. Now the feet are going to be like train tracks pointing to the front side of the room. Whenever you're ready from here, we're going to start with hands at heart center for the first time through warrior. Take a deep breath in to gently lift that back left heel off of the mat. Slightly bend through this front right knee. As you exhale, I want you to hinge through the upper body, hinging through the hips, bringing the body parallel to the mat. If this feels like a good place today, you are welcome to stay here. You can also release hands down to the mat for a little support. If you'd like to turn this into warrior three, press the palms of the hands firmly but gently together. Make sure your weight is shifted and planted firmly into that right foot. Slowly use that core strength to inhale, lift that back left foot off of the mat. So try to avoid opening this left thigh over towards the left side of the room. The left thigh stays pointed down towards the earth. Keep the hands at heart center. Breathe. And when you're ready, exhale, release left foot down on towards the mat. Inhale, slowly rise back up to stand. Beautiful job. We're going to move through that warrior three one more time with another option that you can take with the hands. So again, right foot still pointed to the front side of the room, keeping the hands at heart center, or this time if you prefer, you can lift fingertips up to the sky. As you take that next breath in, hike that left heel off of the mat, slightly bend through that front right foot. Exhale, hinge through the hips. Bring the upper body parallel down to the earth. So your hips are square and center to the front, gently pointing down towards the earth. You can stay here with fingertips extended or hands can always come to heart center. Again, slowly use that core strength to lift that back left leg off of the mat for balancing stick or warrior three. Nice job. Find what feels good for you. Keep that left thigh as best as you can pointing down towards the earth. And then slowly release left foot down onto the mat. Inhale, lift fingertips to the sky, rise back up to stand. Awesome job. Whenever you are ready from here, exhale, hands to heart center, gently press that back right foot to meet the left back edge of your mat. And we're going to take that to the other side. So breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. On that next inhale, you're going to step left foot just 2 to 3 feet away from that back right foot. Try not to pivot your hips over towards the right side of the room. Everything is centered square to the front to start. From here, breathe in, lift that back right heel off of the mat, slight bend through this front left knee to support you. Breathe in, exhale, hinge through the hips, bring the upper body parallel down to the mat. Make sure you're centered directly on that left palm of the foot so you can stand here. You can even let hands come down towards the mat if you'd like a supported warrior three. Or again, use that core strength, slowly lift right heel off of the mat. Awesome job, guys. Use your core strength to maintain your balance. And then from here, gently set right foot back down to the mat. Inhale, rise back up to stand. You can adjust the stance if you need to. We're going to move through that again with the option to extend fingertips up towards the sky. So starting off, make sure hips are in a neutral position, pointed to the front side of the room. You can keep hands at heart center, or you can lift fingertips to the sky. Inhale, pike the right heel off of the mat, slight bend through that front left knee. Breathe in, exhale, hinge through the upper body, bringing the upper body parallel to the earth. You can always stay here, bring hands back to heart center, or use that core strength, slowly lift right heel off of the mat. Try not to let that right leg open over towards the side of the room. Keep the right toes pointed down towards the mat. Keep the right thigh pointed down towards the mat. When you're ready, gently release right foot down onto the earth. Inhale, lift the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, step left foot back. Take the right hands, come to heart center. Beautiful work with that balance here. Whenever you're ready, I want you to just pivot over towards the left side of the room so that way we're all facing sideways on the mat. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step whatever legs towards the front edge away, 2 to 3 feet away. So that way we're going to start with the toes gently pointing together, heels open towards the corners of the room. Your hands are at heart center. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out, just getting used to that feeling of the legs being in this pigeon position. On that next inhale, pull the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, you can either keep the arms in line with the shoulders, or you can release hands down onto the hips. Moving with your breath, slowly exhale, hinging through the hips, maintaining that flat back all the way until you feel the crown of the head naturally release down towards the earth. Before the palms of the hands come down onto the mat to support you. You can wrap around the ankles or you can even reach towards the back side of the room. Make sure big toes are pivoted towards each other. The heels are towards the corners of the room. And don't be afraid to shift the weight a little forward into the balls of the feet to help that crown of the head come down towards the earth. I want you to avoid rounding up through the shoulders though. Again, long line, neutral spinal column. Nice open heart. And just feel that stretch the hamstrings to the inner thighs, to the glutes. Letting yourself breathe here. You can get a little deeper into that forward fold, that wide-legged forward fold. And then from here, wherever you are at, bring the palms of the hands underneath the shoulder blades, creating a box for the crown of the head. We'll inhale, slowly press up into the fingertips, coming into a halfway lift, so the upper body is parallel to the earth. We'll bring left hand to the center of your mat. Inhale, lift that right arm up towards the sky. Try not to shift your weight into this hip bone. The hips are in a neutral position. You're just twisting through the core, through the abdomen. A little spinal twist in our wide-legged forward fold. Exhale, release. Right hand down towards the mat center. Make sure the hips are in a neutral position, and then slowly inhale, lift left arm up towards the sky, pivoting over towards the left. Again, you don't want to dump your weight into that right hip. The hips are neutral. You're just twisting through the abdomen. When you're ready, we'll exhale. Release left hand down towards the mat. From here, you can lift into the fingertips. We're just going to pivot. Heel toe the feet in 2 to 3 times. This time bring the heels closer together. Toes are a little further apart. Get a little lift to the fingertips. Whenever you're ready, exhale slowly. Bend through the knees. Softening the sit bone closer towards the mat until you can comfortably let the hips rest down towards the earth. You can bring palms of the hands to rest at heart center. Gently press, use the elbows, press the inner thighs away for our garland pose. If this is uncomfortable at all, you can keep the hips lifted a little bit higher. It's very important to keep the palms of the feet flat on the mat here so that we're not adding any unnecessary pressure or tension into the ankles, into the joints. And again, even here, try not to slump forward. Feel that lift, that light in your spirit. Find that strength in your body. Just listen to your breath. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Steady breath in and steady breath out. Awesome job. And whenever you're ready from here, go ahead, release the palms of the hands down towards the mat just to help you bring the sit bones down onto the mat. Bring the palms of the feet together, gently release the knees down towards the mat for a bound angle. So sit bones are rooted. You're still lifted up, seated tall. Hands are just gently resting on the ankles. If this is at all uncomfortable, scoot the heels a little further away, and that'll help to ease the knees down onto the mat until you can comfortably draw the heels closer in towards the body. I have really open hips, so this is comfortable for me. It may not be comfortable for you. And I want you to find whatever feels good for your body today. Just take this time to breathe. Feel that stretch through the inner thighs and the groin. And from here, we'll inhale, sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, you're gonna release hands down by the hips. Inhale, fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, fingertips down by the hips. One more time, inhale, fingertips lift up towards the sky. Try not to lift the shoulders too far up. Pivot the palms of the hands to face the front side of the room. Exhale, keeping the sit bones in towards the mat. Slowly release the fingertips down onto the mat with the toes. You can stay lifted up higher here, or slowly walk the fingertips a little further away, getting into a very deep hip opener here. Do not let the sit bones lift off of the mat. I know it's tempting. Keep the sit bones rooted, even if that means you stay lifted a bit higher than you'd like today. Release that tension out of the body. Breathe. And then whenever you're ready, you can walk the fingertips a little closer in towards the palms of the feet to help you come back up to that starting seated position. From here, bring the hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Gently bring the knees together, closing the knees like the pages of the book. Let the palms of the feet come flat onto the mat. Awesome job. So again, the sit bones are still rooted. The upper body is in a neutral position here. The hands are just gently interlaced around the kneecaps. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then when you're ready from here, extend the right leg down the length of your mat. Left knee stays bent. Can you hover the left foot half an inch off of the mat? Use the palm, interlace the fingertips. Gently draw that knee a little closer into the heart. When you're ready, go ahead and cross left palm of the foot to the outer edge of that right thigh. Keep both sit bones rooted in towards the mat. Upper body is nice and light, long facing the front side of the room. Inhale, lift the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, we're going to pivot in towards this right knee. You can let left hand come down onto the mat. Hook that right elbow around the outer edge of that left knee and get a little twist. Instead of staying slumped over here in this twist, I want you to either use that core strength. Inhale, sit up a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. You can either keep this palm of the hand facing to the side of the room, or if you prefer, you can always really sit down towards the mat. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And then inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, pivot over and twist to the opposite side of the room. Let your left hand come to the inside of that left knee now. Let the right palm of the hand come down to the mat. Even here, try not to slump. Stay lifted. Stay tall. Now come back to the center. Release the palm of the hands. Interlace underneath that left kneecap. Gently uncross that left palm of the foot off of that right thigh. Extend right leg down the length of the mat. Inhale, hug right knee in towards the chest now. Fingertips are curling underneath the kneecap. Our right palm of the foot just hovering off the mat. Then cross right palm of the foot to the outer edge of that left leg. Bones will stay rooted. Inhale. Exhale, twist over towards the right hand down on the mat behind the top back. Left elbow on the outer edge of the right knee. Again, you can either keep the fingertips pointed up towards the sky, elbow bent, or you can gently release the fingertips towards the earth. Just remember to inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little deeper. 2 more breaths. Then on that next inhale, we'll unwind the fingertips up overhead towards the center. Exhale, pivot over towards the opposite side of the room. Left hand resting behind the small of your back. Right elbows to the inner edge of that right knee. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist a little more. From here, inhale, unwind, coming back to the center. Exhale, interlace all 10 fingers underneath that right kneecap, and cross that right leg away from the left. Extend right leg down the length of your mat. Adjusting yourself on the mat if you need to keep the toes gently flexed, rotating towards the mat. Inhale, so fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, hinging through the hips. Gently release fingertips either down to the ankles, shins, or all the way around the palm of the hand. Try not to round up through the upper back like this. I want you to still maintain that neutrality in your spine. Breathe in through the nose to find that length. Exhale, you can fold a little deeper. Inhale for length. Exhale to fold. When you're ready, we'll inhale, lift the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, release your hands, heart, and your beautiful job. Go ahead and bend through the knees. Palms will become the rest of the mat. You give yourself a nice big hug here. Just try to avoid rounding out through the upper body and release all 10 fingers off the mat. Maybe even hovering the toes. What are you flexing? The toes for a moment. Rotate the ankles clockwise. Rotate the ankles counterclockwise. From here, letting the palms come back down towards the mat. You will walk the hands down by the hips to slowly let yourself lift these down onto the back. Let the palms of the feet stay rooted, knees stay bent. And walk the heels a little closer in towards the bottom if you prefer. Before we move into our bridge, I want you to take a moment, really flatten the upper back all the way into the mat. Palms of the hands are down by the hips. We're going to press the fingertips into the mat so you get a little more activity, a little bit more engagement through the triceps. Whenever you're ready, gently squeeze your glutes together. Take a deep breath in. Then lift the hips off of the mat. Squeeze glutes, moving into your bridge today. Try not to overarch through the low back. There should be no tension in the low back, no tension in the neck. Use your glutes, use your core, and feel a little bit of engagement through the triceps. Let your shoulders support you here. You can start to close down the eyes if you'd like. Just breathe. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently release the hips down onto the mat. Inhale, hug both knees in towards the chest. You can again rotate the ankles clockwise or counterclockwise. Maybe pointing twice through your toes, moving that ankle joint. And then from here, keeping that low back flush into the mat, release your hands down by the hips or the quads in line with the hips and keep the shins parallel to the earth for our supine tabletop position. Again, try not to let the shoulders touch off of the mat. Let them relax, soften and melt. And from here, we'll inhale gently, extend the legs up towards the sky, the legs up the wall. Again, try not to let the quads come too close up to the face. I want you to keep the quads in line with the hips, so that way that low back gets its full support here to just relax. Release some tension there. The toes are gently flexed. If you prefer, you can keep the knees bent to really alleviate any tension you may feel. Let yourself breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. The shoulders melt into the mat. And then inhale, reach fingertips up towards the sky. Gently bend through the knees, reaching the knees towards the shoulders. Wrap your hands around the outer edges of the feet and sway from side to side for half the baby. And you can take any final stretches that you would like to take here. These next few moments are for you. Or if you're ready, go ahead and make your way down into that supine position or whatever position you'd like to take for Shavasana today. For those in the supine position, go ahead and just let the legs gently extend naturally from your hip sockets. Let the shoulders melt into the mat. The hands can stay resting down by the hips. With either the palms of the hands flipped in towards the mat if you'd like to feel a little more centered and grounded, or you can flip the palms of the hands up towards the sky to open yourself up for a little bit more acceptance and enlightenment. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and close down the eyes, shutting down the gaze. Let your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Let the jaw start to hang heavy. Release that furrow of the brows. Return to your own natural pattern of breathing. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. With that tension melts out of your fingertips, out of your toes. Feel the body melt another inch closer to the earth. Start to let go of any final thoughts that may still be present today. Try not to focus on any one thing as you breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and out for 3, 2, 1. In for 1, 2, 3, and out for 3, 2, 1. With nothing on your mind, and love and light in your heart, go ahead and clear out any final thoughts and start to make your way into that meditative state of Shavasana today. Allow yourself this time to just simply be. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose and start to move the fingertips and close gently. Exhale, sigh that breath away, and you're awakening the body once again. Reconnecting with mind, spirit, and physical being. From here, you can let yourself roll over onto one side of the mat. It doesn't matter too much which side. Maybe let the head rest in the crook of an elbow and keep the eyes closed. Breathing in this final moment of stillness, of peace, and tranquility. And then gently press up into an easy seated position, that one leg crossed on top of the other. Let your sit bones reconnect to the mat. Starting with the palms of the hands resting on the inner thighs. And then we'll inhale, scoop our fingertips up overhead. Press the palms of the hands together. Exhale your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing in this practice with me this evening. It's truly an honor and a blessing to see each and every single one of you on the mat. And all that is full of love and light within me honors and recognizes all that is full of that love and light within me. Thank you guys for a lovely class.